Let's go.
Be in here. Jade in here yet?
I just sent him his invite.
Get this thing started, boy.
It's not letting me accept shit.
You gotta add him.
I am. I just added him and accepted his request. Unable to join.
There we go.
All right.
We in this
There we
thing.
go. All right. What's up, y'all?
What's going on?
How's the week going?
Man, I ain't gonna lie to you. After this weekend, I'm kind of hot, man. The one time I put some money on Tom Brady, this dude go, come on, bro. The whole life, they always tell you, don't bet against Brady. And I was always that dude. Hey, Tom Brady ain't gonna do it. Tom Brady ain't gonna do it. The one time in my life, I was like, you know what? It's the Rams. Tom Brady, he gonna get this dub. So I put some bread down.
That's what I thought.
That's how my weekend going.
That was a great weekend of football.
Oh yeah, great weekend. I'm just saying, like then that happened, and then you got Buffalo, Kansas City. Like we can talk about that for days.
I think every game came down to the last play.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure. I think that was the best weekend of football I've ever seen, at least.
I agree.
Yeah.
Well, appreciate y'all joining today. We're super excited about this. This is the first actually official episode that we're recording today. Topic today is the transition. We're going to expand a little bit on that, but we got to dive into football a little bit just because, I think just from this crazy weekend, we had 4 divisional games in the NFL that, there's a lot of good football. So, moving forward now, what's y'all's Super Bowl matchup? Who do you guys want? You guys think
before I answer that, I gotta ask y'all because I haven't asked y'all off camera. I haven't asked y'all yet. Do y'all think this Cincinnati hype is real?
I think so.
I want to hear what y'all like. This Joe Burrow, Joe franchise, whatever they want to call it, Joe Burr, Joe Shiesty. Is this hype in Cincinnati real? That's what I want to know. I want to know before I put some more money down. I just lost some money yesterday. I lost some money this weekend, so I need to know, is this hype real? So talk to me.
Jay, what you think? I think yes.
I'm going to say 100% yes. The connection, the quarterback and Chase got, defense playing well. Confidence in the Joe Burrow his confidence, his leadership.
I agree.
You don't see bro looking nervous. Like, he's cold, bro. That's all.
He was sacked 9 times.
That's the crazy thing, bro. If you sack someone 9 times, you shouldn't lose the game.
You should not be walking. You should not be
walking. You should. If you sack, like, how do you celebrate that as a defense? I'm a defensive guy. I play defense. If we sack someone 9 times, that's a party. But I don't know, man.
But no, he's definitely different for that. And Jamar Chase, the receiving core they got, the defense showed up. I don't know. They're gonna give Chiefs a run, I think.
All I can say is scary. No, I'm gonna tell you what's scary about Cincinnati though. The fact that obviously last year Joe Burrow, he had I think it was an ACL tear.
Yep.
ACL tear. He was a rookie, and before the ACL tear, I'm not gonna say he was dog water now. I keep it real. He was kind of suspect. He was suspect. He was the number one overall draft pick. He was kind of suspect, you know what I'm saying, coming into Cincinnati. Then on top of that, as soon as he gets a little bit of a groove, starting to catch his rhythm, boom, he tears ACL, right? Then he comes back this year, right? He can get his homeboy from LSU that he did dumb numbers with, Jamar Chase, right? And the fact that these two are low-key picking up where they left off at LSU against I think it was Clemson in the national championship.
Yep.
What did you expect?
Bro, you got to, bro.
They were hating on bro at the beginning.
They told him. They said what they say. They said dude can't catch an NFL ball. Like, what you mean? He a receiver. That's all he
Now,
do is catch ball. He can't. And then this dude gonna come out here doing stupid numbers. Like,
first year rookie, all pro.
Bro,
man.
Is he in your top 5 for this season? Top 5 receivers for the season. Is he in that category?
I'm putting him in the category.
I ain't putting him in my top 5 because
Dude.
I ain't putting him in my top 5 because dog, it's his first year. It's his first year. Like, you gotta.
But he's an all pro. Rookie all pro.
Now he had a great year. He had a great year, yes. But I ain't gonna put him in my top 5. I ain't gonna put him in my top 5.
I don't know what else you can do to do better.
Now if he puts up similar numbers, even better, or even just if his numbers are rival to the numbers he had this year, well, I don't know what he gonna do next. So he still got he got one more game guaranteed. Could go stupid. Super Bowl could go stupid. Now next year, if he rivals those numbers next year, then okay, I'll be like, hey, Ja'Marr Chase got a year under his belt, did stupid his first year. He gonna come back his second year and dominate. I'm not the type that. That's why I asked y'all, is the hype real? Like,
he's in my top 5 this year.
We're talking about the season top 5, like this season, bro. It's definitely top 5.
Oh, this season,
this season.
He's top 3. He's top 3 this season. If we going off numbers,
yeah.
If we going off just flat out numbers, the stuff he's put up is. If you know anything about football, like, you know, there's probably some people on here that don't know, but the numbers this man is putting up is crazy. You know what I'm saying? And he was putting those numbers up in college. So that's what makes it like, okay, is he just going – hold on, I just thought of something. I got a question for y'all. Do you think – see, no, I get turned when I talk about football. If y'all know me, I get my blood flowing. All right, my question is, do you think Ja'Marr Chase – would be as successful if he was with a different quarterback? Do you think it's the chemistry? Like, do you give it more of just he's a dominant receiver, he's getting off his rookie year, or you think, I don't know who said it, but you don't lose chemistry? Like, do you think it's because they went to college together? They probably, you know what I'm saying? They had the number of practice they had, the chemistry is there. Do you think it's because they got Joe Burrow as his quarterback, or is it because if he got drafted to the Browns and Mayfield was throwing him the ball?
Nah, not a chance, bro.
I don't know. Now that's the question: is he top 5 because of his quarterback, or is he top 5 because of what he's doing after the ball? Now, if he's getting the ball, like, you don't need a all-pro quarterback to get you the ball. You know what I'm saying? So, like, look at DeAndre Hopkins.
No, look at Jimmy G. Look at the 49ers.
No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm talking about
how Debo's performed this year. Jimmy G is not, in my opinion, is not.
Debo can get off anywhere. Debo is a good receiver. That's that's why he's in a top 5, top 10 or whatever. That's why Debo deserves to be. You know what I'm saying? Like DeAndre Hopkins. This man was getting off with the Texans as Brock Osweiler as their quarterback. Then they got Deshaun Watson. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, a good receiver don't need an all-pro quarterback. You know what I'm saying? And I think Ja'Marr Chase, hey, I'm standing on my word. I think this dude would get off anywhere. I think he would get off anywhere. I don't think it's because of Joe Burrow. I think Joe Burrow is doing his thing, though, because he's hitting Ja'Marr Chase, but his connection with T. Higgins, Boyd, the tight end, Osama, the way he's got the offense going, the way he can drive, like, come on, man. Stop playing with me. I can talk about this all day. Like, but the hype, me personally, the hype is real. The hype is real.
I think so too. What's y'all Super Bowl matchup? In the comments too, what's y'all Super Bowl matchup?
Yeah, y'all need to help me out because I like putting money. You know what I'm saying? I'm into this sports bet now, so I need all the.
Every weekend.
Every weekend, man. Hey, it's okay though. Out of 5 weeks, I'm like 0 for 5, but it's okay though because I was told it's okay. I'm gonna win one of them though. And they gonna hear about it.
We got a Bengals versus Rams. That's a good one.
I respect that one.
I feel like the Rams would just, I don't know, just that would be ugly in my opinion. Just because of that defensive line that the Rams got, I don't know if they'd be able to handle that.
Bro's getting hit.
So if he got the Bengals and the Rams, he got Cincinnati being Kansas City?
Yep.
You got LA
At,
being San Francisco. I don't know, man.
for me, I would like to see Niners Bengals. I would like to see that.
Bro, how you
That's
about
just my opinion.
to be a Seahawks fan talking about you want to see the Niners in the Super Bowl?
That's what I'm saying. He done got
I
caught. He
mean,
done fell into a trap.
I don't
He
like the
fell
Rams.
into...
I don't like the Rams. I
What?
mean,
Come
you got
on,
to pick
bro.
your poison. I mean, think about it. Like both those teams, obviously NFC West, but I just don't like the Rams. I do not like the Rams
So
whatsoever.
you would pick the 49ers over the Rams?
Yeah, I would just to see them lose another Super Bowl.
Hey, it depends. If Cincy somehow, I'm not saying it won't happen. But I'm just saying like the cards are stacked against them. But because we all just saw what Kansas City did against Buffalo last night. Now,
Pretty impressive.
I ain't saying Cincinnati ain't got no tough defense, but come on now, like. But like I was saying, if Cincy can get past Kansas City in the AFC Championship and get to LA and either see San Francisco or LA, dog, I'm doubling down on Cincy. If they can get to the Super Bowl, I don't care if Garoppolo throws for 500 this NFC Championship game or if Matthew Stafford and Odell Beckham have 5 TDs apiece. If Cincinnati can get to the Super Bowl, I think they're gonna make history. I don't like.
Hey, remember, Super Bowl's in LA, supposedly.
Yeah,
It don't even matter. It don't even matter. It don't even matter.
you're losing your bread.
Because I'm telling you, if they can, I'm telling you right now, if Cincy can go to Kansas City and beat Patrick Mahomes, Travis Kelce, Frank Clark, Jaron Reed, Tyrann Mathieu, dogs, beat them in Kansas City, AFC Championship. And you're going to say they can't beat the Rams or San Francisco and LA and SoFi Stadium? Come on.
They got some crazy momentum if that happens. Like the confidence is going to be through the roof.
Man.
Another topic we gotta discuss though is the GOAT. What's going to happen with the GOAT? We had for the first time in a minute, Aaron Rodgers and Tom Brady are not in their respective divisional championship game. I think since 2011, if I'm correct. But that's pretty impressive. That's pretty insane. So, what's gonna happen with Tom? What's gonna happen with Aaron?
Man, you want to take this one, Jalen, first?
Hey, they coming back for sure. They ain't going out like that. I know that. You can see the look on their faces when they lose. Like Tom Brady got a good team. He ain't going nowhere. Aaron Rodgers, bro's a dog. He ain't going nowhere.
Is he staying or leaving though?
That's another question. I think Aaron Rodgers might be out of Green Bay.
Now, what you mean? Is he staying like Tom? You talking about is he hanging up the jersey, or you think about he relocating?
I think Aaron will relocate. In my opinion.
You think Tom done?
No, Tom won't. He still has a year left on his contract. Tom Brady.
All I know is that
I think he'll be 45.
Bro's different.
That's ridiculous.
That don't make no sense. Like, and what you realize is, obviously, you can see by how he plays, he's a GOAT. But the impact he had for them to get knocked out in the divisional round, that opened up the playoffs, in my opinion.
Yeah, I think so.
That opened it up because, like, on the NFC side, I don't know about y'all, but in my opinion, the NFC lock going into the playoffs, I was like, okay, Tampa Bay, like that's the NFC lock. In the AFC, you could say the Chiefs. Then you had Buffalo on the, in the back window. You had who else? You had Tennessee. No one thought Tennessee was gonna get smacked up like that in the divisional round. So it's like,
weak, bro.
Dude, that just shows you, man. This man, like, oh, my brother said it's over with the GOAT. I don't know, man. Jay, you said like he got one more year, he gonna come back, and because I don't know where I saw the stat is, but every time Tom Brady loses the playoffs, which is not a lot,
goes back.
But he either makes a Super Bowl appearance because like,
yep.
You saw how we went out with in his last game at New England against the Titans.
I know. Won a Super Bowl next season.
Next year. Went to Tampa. like Tampa was dog. I mean, they had some dogs. They had Mike Evans. He was getting off down there. They had Rojo. You know what I'm saying? They had who else? They had Devontae. What's the linebacker's name? David
White,
White. Yeah, White. Did Tom Brady come down there, take him to the Super Bowl,
and win.
at the crib, and that's wild.
Yeah. No, I agree.
That transition is crazy. Like that's a transition right there, going from Belichick. And what's Belichick doing now?
Bro,
They weren't looking hot.
can't Belichick, bro.
They ain't the same. They ain't the same. I'll say that.
Yeah, so who made who? That's my question. Yeah, I got to answer, but who made who? That's all I'm saying. People saying, hey, Tom Brady winning that argument as of now. But
No, but I think that's a good transition to our next topic. We're talking about Tom Brady, Aaron Rodgers, what's next. I think we're starting to see in general, just NBA, NFL, all over sports, we're starting to see kind of a new era athletes. New cats are stepping up. Mahomes, Allen, Burrow, Herbert. All these guys. Lamar still in it. We can the list could go on and on. You look at it from an NBA side, we got John Morant. Man, that dude's killing it. So I think this is a good transition though, because I think one thing that us three can definitely attest to is that transition period is something that you were passionate about, or something that kind of took up the most of your time growing up as young kids, and then kind of getting in that transition period of, okay, there's adulthood. I think we kind of relate that back to Tom Brady and Aaron Rodgers, even though, financially, stable wise, they're pretty set. But, what's next after football? What's next after? Some people are into music, some people are into acting. And at some point, these passions and aspirations in this life end at some time. So let's kind of expand on that transition period. Jalen, how about you take it from here? Kind of describe your experience of, starting out. You and I played on the same basketball team in middle school, and then, we played against each other in high school. Kind of where you at now in life, going from that kind of college academic life to beginning adulthood, beginning career.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm at Central still. Went here originally for football. I don't know if I'd be here if I didn't go here for football originally. And I've just been grinding away on my schoolwork, to be honest with you. It's definitely stressful trying to paint the picture going forward for adulthood. But I'm just doing the best I can, reaching out, trying to network with people, trying to put my time in places where I'll get something back in return. But like I said, it's definitely been difficult, especially like you said, when you give so much time to something for our situation. But at the same time, there's a lot more things that come to life than just football. Like you said, eventually those passions are going to have to be put aside. Just like Tom Brady and Aaron Rodgers, like one day they're going to have to put the cleats down.
What was the thought process for you from when you decided you're like, okay, I'm moving on. I'm moving on from the game. What was your thought process?
Man, there's just so much I want more out of life than football. Like, don't get me wrong, playing football, strapping, popping folks, like talking mess on the field, like that's the first love, to be honest. But when I think of my goals that I want long term, football really isn't in that equation. So it's kind of like I can either put my time there and have fun and enjoy it, or grind out, 5-10 years and see how it affects me down the road. That's kind of where my mind was. But like I said, I'm not even really done with that. I still got probably a year left. And then, yeah, the business after that, straight work.
Exactly. Well, what about you? Because you kind of had a different dynamic growing up,
Oh, yeah.
Big time home, big time. Pops was big time. What was kind of the dynamic for you? I'm sure that came with a lot of pressure, expectation.
Oh yeah, man. I mean, like you said, obviously about Pops, so that also there's a lot of pressure alone, just saying that out loud, just that alone. But I went to college for a year. I played ball in South Dakota, little small Madison, South Dakota. Shout out Dakota State Trojans. Yeah, like Jalen said, like you got to start planning out your future, and then you realize like something you love growing up and things that people told you all the time, like that's what you're gonna do, like that's really all you're known for. Like, you know how it is growing up when you play, play sports, like all the uncles, aunties, cousins, mama, daddy, like, oh, that's what that boy gonna do. Like he gonna play on Sundays. And then when you actually come left, like, you know what, like I kind of wanna, I think I'm gonna go this way. At first, like it was scary because it was like,
Yeah.
at that point, it was all I ever, that was what I was working towards, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Growing up, like as soon as I hit maturity, it was always sports, sports, sports. And then you jump into the real world and you realize like, okay, hold on. Then you gotta fact check yourself, like, okay, let me see where my priorities at. And I ain't perfect. Like I came back and my priorities were all off whack. You know what I'm saying? My agenda was, it wasn't, I was just all over the place. You know what I'm saying? I didn't know any better. So honestly, like it's gonna be scary and you can't back down. You gotta just look at it what it is, and you don't gotta know the direction, but you gotta know the end goal. You gotta know where you wanna be. And like I said, just alone telling yourself, hey man,
having that vision.
Yeah, having a vision. You know what I'm saying? That's all you got to do, because we don't know the answers. Like, still to this day, I'm 22 years old. Like, if you ask me what's the key to anything, I don't know. I'm still figuring out today. You know what I'm saying? I'm still figuring out too. I'm still figuring out. But as long as I know my end goal and know that that's where I want to be, you know what I'm saying? You can't let no one stop. You can't let no one stop you. You know what I'm saying? You gotta stand 10 toes and get that money. Like you said, like you got one more year, and I've been in the full, like just working. I haven't done the school, or like when I left school in football, I left school entirely and football. So I left football and school. And honestly, in my opinion, only reason why I got this, the only reason why I got to the college level was I was playing ball. You know what I'm saying? Like he said, for Central, like if it wasn't for football, he wouldn't be at Central. So that was the same situation for me. And then once you kind of, not throw it away, but just, you know what, I'm gonna go over here and see what that's about. You know what I'm saying? And you're gonna have people in your ear. You're gonna have people from afar. You're gonna have people right next to you. You're gonna have people that's in your circle. They're gonna tell you stuff that you don't want to hear, but you don't need to hear. And they may not like your opinion, but you gotta keep grinding. You gotta keep doing what you gotta do. And my biggest thing is proving a lot of people wrong, because like you said, you got big time Pops. Obviously Pops, Hall of Famer.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Seattle Seahawk. Goat around this town. And I bet y'all can only imagine the type of heads I turn when the son, oh, I'm done, I don't want to do this, I want to see what else is going on in the world besides this. So
sure.
So to anybody that's listening, just stay 10 toes down. It's gonna be hard days. Like the last podcast we talked about, don't act out on emotion. Don't let a small term emotion affect you long term, like make you affect the long term decision. You gotta
definitely agree on that one.
Yeah, you gotta stand tall, you know what I'm saying? And reach out. It's okay. I didn't know nothing, man. Hey, if y'all got questions for whoever, reach out. And we all just young adults. I don't know how old people in here, but majority of y'all, we about the same age, and we all gotta make that transition one day. So, Jalen's was then, mine's now, whatever it may be. Just keep pushing.
Yeah, I think that was the biggest thing for me, that transition period. I think, personally for me, I think that was one of the most challenging things I've ever had to deal with in my life so far. And the one thing that's crazy about it is you kind of have to deal with it yourself. It's kind of a lonely process. Because if you would have asked me when I was 17, 16 years old, oh, what are you going to do when you're 22, 20, 21, 23? Yeah. I would have told you I would have been still playing football. But being out of it almost a year now, it's been a crazy growth process. Just having to almost kind of recreate myself in a way, my identity. Because once football was over, it was kind of like an identity crisis. I was like, I knew in my head I had other things to offer, but like down deep in the heart, like down deep, I was like, man, I'm not really sure about myself, because there's so many different avenues that you could go, and you see different experiences along the way. Like in the past, some of my teammates, like they didn't know what they wanted to do. Some of them had an idea. Some guys were just kind of there for the experience. So you kind of have to go through those steps and go through the growing pains, if you will, to figure out, okay, what do I want to be, and how do I want to kind of portray myself to other people? How do I want to impact my community? how can I be the best for my family? I know we all three have had a lot of conversations about kind of being future minded, thinking long term. So doing what it takes right now in our early 20s to set ourselves and our families up for the future. I think that's something that I definitely kind of how I see life on things. But there's just all different types of dynamics. And then the adulthood process too, because they don't really teach that in high school. That's one thing that I've really tried to,
Uh,
tell my community members. I'm like, man, when I was in high school, you know, shout out to my mom and dad for teaching me the things they needed to teach me about growing up and maturing. But they, in high school, as y'all can attest, they don't teach about paying a bill, managing time. They don't teach about how to manage money. Like it just doesn't, that's just not something that's discussed. So
yeah.
what was that dynamic like for you guys having to transition from, in high school when we started out, freshmen, sophomores, maybe even juniors a little bit, we were kind of all, at least for me, I was getting a little bit of cash here and there from mom and dad. And obviously I'm fully dependent upon them. But once I got to college, like it was all on me. You know,
Mhm.
you blow money one weekend, it's like, that's, that
That
was
was
your
it.
choice. That was
Yeah, that
it.
was
So
it. Yeah, well, like you said, for me, mine was money management. Like you said, throughout high school, I was getting a little cash here and there. You know what I'm saying? I kind of knew in the back of my mind, like I didn't have that mindset of, okay, I got to stack this, and you know what I'm saying, even a little bit, put a little bit away. Like saving was, dude, in high school, if I got some cash, that
you're blowing it.
and blowing it. Like, now that I
Yeah.
look back on it, I had so many opportunities. I could have set myself up. I wouldn't have been living comfortable now, but just the little bread I was getting in high school, I could have at least, hey man, like if this college thing didn't work out, I can have a little bit on the side. I was like, no, like, so when I left college, I came back, I had to, work, you know what I'm saying? And even when I was still getting my first full paychecks, good amount of money, I was saving was still like, oh man, you know what? Like, no, like I can go and do that. But like you said, it's um, just having conversations. Like I had conversations with my parents, close friends. You know what I'm saying? It's hard. Like I'm 22. Like I'm not perfect at it now. Like I'm not gonna sit here and say I'm the perfect at money management. There's still to this day, like there's some I make stupid purchases. Like I know we all do, but like I said, it's all about having that vision. Like someday I want to get to this point, and if I want to get to that point, it means okay, I'm getting this amount. I got to put a little bit over here to the side because you know what I'm saying? Like those J's can wait, or that new whatever can wait, whatever it may be, that can wait. So just having
It's
that
a hard
concept,
discipline to learn.
yeah, it's hard. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Especially if it's new to you. And like what I also want to tell people that's actually going through that, like I'm gonna get a little deep real quick, but like in our society, we always worry about what someone else thinks. You know what I'm saying? Like, man, like they got it harder, or well, you ain't got to do it like me because I had to do this longer. I've been doing this since 16. You've been doing this since 19. You cannot worry about none of that. Like it's hard. Like I said, it's gonna come from people next to you in your circle. You gotta stand down on your 10 toes and keep pushing. As long as you got that vision, like, hey, you know what? When I get here, I want to be able to, you know what? I'm gonna forget mom and dad. I want to put a little down payment on a car, and this is gonna be my car. I'm not gonna just wait and expect to get it from blah blah blah, whatever it may be. You gotta have that vision. It could be something big. I want to put a crazy amount on a house, or I want to get a car. I want to buy my own cell phone. I want to do this, or whatever it may be. You gotta have that vision first. You know what I'm saying?
And it
And
really comes from within. It
it
has to
got
be
to. If you don't
a
want it,
self-motivating thing.
that's dude. That just what you said. That can go under anything in life. It can be about work. It can be about your relationship. It can be about your eating habits. It can be about whatever. If it's not in you, if you don't feel that, then you're just talking. And that's
Jalen,
what a lot of
Jalen,
people do.
How do you think you develop that though? How do you develop like self-motivation? Because I know for a fact, like that was something I don't think it was until I was about 17 that I really started to click for me. So how does somebody like develop that?
For me, I mean, for me personally, seeing how hard my grandpa works, how hard my mom works, and them still not really being in a situation to like not stress about the future or stress about money or whatever the case may be. That's what kind of clicked for me because I started realizing like I'm not trying to be living like this when I'm 30, when I'm 40, when I'm 60. Like that's not happening.
Right.
But I honestly think for most people, it just comes from ultimately understanding what you want. Like somebody that doesn't want this certain lifestyle or to live like this or take care of their people like this obviously isn't gonna have that burning path to go get it because that's not what they want. So I think ultimately, like I said, it comes down to figuring out what you want and how you're gonna get it. So there's a lot of people I see nowadays, especially our age, that just expect stuff to be handed to them.
Yeah.
A lot of the time, they'll throw some shade on you because you're out here busting yourself,
Yeah.
hours and hours, and
Oh my God.
where you're chilling, like just kicking it. Like,
Yeah.
it really just comes down to where you want to put your time and what you consider a sacrifice. Like you said, you thinking long term. So obviously, the work you're doing in your early ages is where you want to put your time. Somebody else might want to, kick it in, this and that.
No, I like what you said about the finances because, by the way, for everyone that's still on the live, go ahead and enter some questions that you have. We're going to start answering some Q&A here pretty soon as we finish up the rest of this topic. But I like what you had to say on finances because I think when I first moved out of my parents' house, going to college in Oregon, I started realizing like, man, life's expensive. Like
Yeah.
it's expensive out here.
Man,
And
gas? Come on, bro.
yeah, gas, food, rent, phone, whether that you got all your utilities at your place, and then you got to manage the income that you do have. And so it made me have a way higher respect for my parents. Me and my siblings growing up, it was like they were doing all of that for us. And as a little kid, like you don't understand like what goes into it. You don't really hear your parents, with their money struggles or because that's the reality, man. Like parents, young adults, like this new families, like there's struggles financially, but you don't really see that as a little kid. It's not till you get out on your own. You're like, man, like my parents really did the most for me to like have the best life that I could. And I like what you said about your grandparents, Jay, because I think that's financial freedom that a lot of people want. I know I do to, get in your late 40s, 50s, 60s and live comfortably. You don't have to stress, live paycheck to paycheck. And unfortunately, that's a reality for a lot of people, even at that
Majority
age.
of
So,
people.
majority. So, I think that's a good point that you made. Well, what have you seen in your experiences about financial freedom?
Like you were saying, like it's all about setting yourself up, I know I feel like I'm repeating myself, but like it starts with that vision. Like you got to see it. You know what I'm saying? That's the end goal. Like even if you got to also be realistic with yourself too. I'm not saying you can't shoot for the stars, but it's not gonna come overnight. One, it's gonna be stressful. But like you said, like I think it was Jalen. You said like your grandparents, like you want to be able to live comfortable. That's the end goal. Like I feel like majority of people when you talk about at the end of everyone wants to be able to live comfortable. And like what
Yeah.
does that mean, living comfortable? It means hey, like I don't have to live paycheck to paycheck. If I'm 50, 60 years old, if I want to take this little trip, I can. If I want to whatever, like you have that freedom to do it. And it really starts with now. I'm not saying if you don't start now it's too late, but it starts right now in the early 20s. You got to have that vision. You got to start like
Discipline is huge.
dude, discipline is
I think one of the
number one.
biggest challenges for myself personally was learning to say no to things. Like learning to say no to going out, learning to tell myself no not to buy something, uh, learning to budget, little things like that. And I would just say for everyone that's listening, we're talking about all these like topics, money, finances, budgeting, things like that. If you're not there yet, like don't let society make you feel bad about yourself. Like if you're
Keep
not there
working.
yet, it's okay. Like I think our society does that a lot. We see other people that have their act together. Like the truth is like we don't, none of us do. And
Ooh,
even people that are 40, 50 years old don't have it together. So life is a constant and, you know, it's a constant growth process and you're learning something almost every single day. At least that's what I try to do. So I think we have two questions right here that are kind of crucial to kicking off the rest of this podcast. But the first one's from Sam. Appreciate you, bro. Can y'all read that? I don't think I can see it. It says, what do you guys think are the most important aspects when it
Chase.
comes to chasing your goals and dreams? We're going to cover this question and the question from Janice. Appreciate you both. And then we'll go ahead and conclude this today. So, Jay, how about you take that first one, and then Walt, you can kind of expand and dive into the second one.
Yeah.
Most important aspect when chasing your goals and your dreams is, I think, is first to have a solid understanding of what you want. Because a lot of times you can have a dream, but that dream is kind of far-fetched or not really precise on what specifically it is. And then from there, kind of just working your anything. If somebody tells you that you can get something overnight, they're lying to you straight up.
Yeah.
I think it's consistent time put aside towards something and consistent work. And then just continually just seeing your growth. I know it's easy to work towards something and not see growth, but when you take a step back and kind of actually look at it, like, you can be like, damn, I've actually been making progress. I've actually been moving in a forward direction, I guess. But
Yeah.
I would definitely say just work, consistency, and really figuring out what you want out of life.
I mean, sometimes, like, to add on that, sometimes, like, the biggest growth is doing little things. Honestly, just doing little things day by day is what kind of helps, I guess, move that process forward, is what I would say.
I got one more thing to say to that too. Like, if you have a dream that you honestly are passionate about and you're willing to put the work in, don't have nobody around you, don't have nobody in your ear telling you not to do that. Like, stay true to you, stay true to what you want, and keep your circle with people that motivate you.
Especially if you're easily influenced too. Like, I feel like that's something that a lot of people have, but they don't want to admit. You know, like, if you catch yourself saying something, if you really like that, and you got a peer or someone near you that say, "Man, what's wrong with you? Why you don't like that?" and you catch yourself like, "No, you know what that is." Like, no, you like that. Like, don't be easy influenced. Like, so like you said, like, if you got a goal, like, if you want to be the best nail tech, whatever it may be, and your peers are saying, "You know what, that ain't no real career. Like, you better do something else with it." Like, whatever it may be, don't let the people outside, you know what I'm saying, influence you. And like Janice, what was the question again? Because it went up. I can't even see it anymore. But I think it was something about
What's your thought process of setting a goal for yourself that's big enough and pushes you outside your comfort zone, but is yet attainable?
That's a good one. That's a good one.
That's a good one right there. Shit, I think I might need to answer myself. Hold on, y'all. Hold on. Hey, I think I might need to answer myself, but hey, I honestly, I think it just comes with, like, honestly, I think first it comes with knowing yourself first. You know what I'm saying? You got to know yourself, and you got to know what your comfort zone is. So I think it's different for every person. You just got to know within, like, if this is a, you know, your dream necessarily. At some point, you gotta say, is this doable? You know what I'm saying? Is this doable? You know, you gotta be real with yourself. You gotta know yourself. Like, and then once you get to that point, knowing that, okay, this is a doable dream or goal, you gotta just break it down. Okay, this is the end goal. You gotta always start with the vision. Like I said earlier, you gotta start at the vision at the top, and then you just gotta break it down into little pieces, baby steps. You know what I'm saying? You can't, like you said, if someone says overnight, like, okay, I want to be in this type of shape. I want to have my body looking like this. Okay, that's the end goal. How am I get there? I'm not gonna just wake up and look like that. Okay, it starts with diet. It starts with, like, what I put in my body and the everything. It starts with that. And then, okay, what do I need? With my, like, whatever, you know what I'm saying? You gotta know yourself, you gotta know the situation, and you know your comfort zone. So I can't really answer that, like, to the fullest for you.
It goes back to starting with self-motivation too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Discipline.
You gotta the discipline, the self-motivation. And definitely what you said, Janice, again, the balance for sure. Because unrealistic goals are can be bad goals too. Because if you're a guy like myself, like, I'm super hard on myself. So I'm always trying to make sure that I reach all my goals. But sometimes, especially in the past, like, I've had unrealistic goals too that I can't, it's not that I can't necessarily get to it. It's that it's just not within my space or my time that I have already to reach it. So when I don't, I'm like, man, I missed it, and then I feel like a failure. So if you're like that, like I see that goes back to just
Hey,
knowing
Jada,
myself.
you're not a failure. You're not a failure, bro.
You know, that's no, I appreciate it. That's a mentality for me though. Like in the
Yeah.
past is, man, I failed that goal or I failed that assignment. But as Walt said, it goes back to knowing yourself and knowing what you can shoot for, and then hitting those marks. And I think that, you know, again, baby steps, little things, doing the little things right every day, are what's going to help
Yeah.
allow you to reach those bigger goals that you want to see for yourself.
You got to keep pushing no matter what. You know what I'm saying? And whoever's listening, if y'all going through like whatever we talked about money, about goals, about whatever it may be, if it means anything, hey, Waltarius, I'm proud of you. Keep going. Keep pushing. You know what I'm saying? This is only beginning. Like, I know, don't get scared. This is only beginning. But, hey, when we at the top, you know what I'm saying, we all going to be smiling. So just have that mindset. Just keep working, keep grinding. Hopefully, you know, with this podcast, with us getting on here, talking to y'all and just dropping little gems and just having a conversation that we can just get your juices flowing a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Like, and, you know, it's Monday. It's the first day of the week. You know what I'm saying? It's a long week. Let's get this money and stay 10 toes down. You know what I'm saying? Just don't fold. You know, stay solid. Always stay solid.
Stay solid. No, I appreciate y'all for being on, those that were able to join today. Like Walt said, feel free to DM us. If you know us personally, go ahead and send us feedback. We need all the feedback we can get, how we can make this better for you guys, how we can add on and talk about different topics that you guys want to see. If you have any certain ideas for us, we'd love to hear all of those. So we appreciate it, and we will see y'all next Monday. Y'all stay solid.
All right, y'all.